Guys, how's it going? Welcome in here to Rover Sports. Wanted to get you guys on the show today, or wanted to give my opinions on the Dave Gettleman presser. So I listened to what DG had to say today, and I really love what Dave Gettleman had to say. He wants to roll back with Eli next year. Doesn't mean that we're not getting a quarterback, but it means Eli's going to be back, which is pretty unbelievable. It's not unbelievable. It's very believable. I like that Eli's going to be back. He's done a great job with our franchise, and he showed last year through the back half of the season that he can be a successful and a good quarterback with good protection, and he can read defenses, and when he's protected, he can make very good, accurate throws down the field. And Eli Manning's a guy that you can win with. I do think so. What Dave Gettleman opened up his press conference saying was that you need instincts in order to be a great football player. You need instincts. So that means that all these guys that are going to be running fast at the combine, that stuff doesn't really matter to Dave Gettleman. Because you have to have a certain play speed that you play with. You need to be able to sniff out defenses. You need to be able to sniff out offenses. You need to be a player that is very reactionary and does not rely on his athletic ability. You need to be a step ahead. And so that rules out certain players for the New York Giants. From the quarterback position, it means that Drew Lock will not be a New York Giant. Because Drew Lock, even though I love Drew Lock, his anticipation is worse than Dwayne Haskins and Kyler Murray. His instincts are not as great as those two guys at the moment. Now, I still think Lock is tremendous, and I think that Drew Lock, his ability to get the ball from point A to point B is spectacular, and I think that his ceiling is absolutely fantastic. I think Lock is going to be a very, very elite quarterback at the NFL level. And he has the demeanor to do it. But the Giants are not going to take Lock. This also means, and this is a big hit for Giants fans, it also means that Devin White's not going to be a Giant. Because Devin White, if you watch the Brett Coleman video, Brett Coleman got the All-22 of LSU. Even though Devin White is very fast off the edge, his instincts are not very good, meaning that he still plays a little bit like a running back learning how to play linebacker, and a lot of times he'll get caught up in the trash, and a lot of times he won't read plays consistently. Dave Gettleman wants guys that reads plays very, very consistently and is very instinctual on a field. The next guy that I think could be off the list is Rashawn Gary of Michigan. Only had 3 sacks during his last 9 games, not around the football all that much. What Dave Gettleman said today, it means that it's very good news for Kyler Murray. Because Kyler Murray has a lot of things that Dave Gettleman likes. Dave Gettleman, he did say that it's a big man's game, so that does go against Kyler Murray. But Kyler Murray has unbelievable instincts. This is a guy that knows running lanes. He knows how to throw with touch. He knows how to throw on the move. He knows how to throw to spots where his receivers will end up getting the football. If the Giants selected Kyler Murray at number 6, especially with all the scouts, I mean, I've listened to Matt Miller, I've listened to Daniel Jeremiah, and I've also listened to Todd McShay. All 3 of these guys have Kyler Murray as a first-round grade right up there with Dwayne Haskins. Right now, it's a little bit of a board where they have Kyler, Dwayne, and the rest of the guys. It molds very, very well for the New York Giants or for anybody selecting a quarterback that Kyler Murray is rated the number 1 quarterback on most people's big boards, and that in itself is unbelievable. And these are all 3 scouts. These are all the elite of the elite scouts of Kyler Murray rated super, super high. And I don't think it's just because of running ability. I think that Kyler Murray is a great, great thrower of the football. I've said when I've looked at him on tape, the guy can throw it 65, 70 yards And the guy's a very accurate passer, so a lot of guys think that you need to run some gimmicky offense where you keep rolling Kyler out. And if you run a gimmicky offense, the quarterback's going to end up getting injured. Lamar Jackson is not going to last a long time. Tim Tebow's offense didn't last a long time. Quarterbacks when you have a running quarterback offense, that is not going to be sustainable. And if the Giants select Kyler Murray, they better play in a pro-style offense where Kyler Murray can also occasionally do maybe a run to the right, or occasionally can make things happen when plays break down. But I want him spending about 80% of time, 8 out of 10 throws I want coming in the pocket. And if you don't believe that Kyler Murray can be a pocket quarterback in the NFL, then you don't believe he can be successful. It's as simple as that. Michael Vick was even a pocket passer. When Michael Vick played for the Falcons, he was a pretty good quarterback. He won a playoff game in Lambeau Field, but he was not one of the consistent elite quarterbacks. The reason why Baker Mayfield's successful, the reason why Russell Wilson is successful is because when things are in the pocket, they could still make big-time throws, and they can make big-time layered throws. And I believe Kyler Murray can hit slant routes. He can hit corner routes. Kyler Murray is a quarterback that can make every throw. And the reason I have him way over Dwayne Haskins is Dwayne Haskins, again, is on Twitter. Dwayne Haskins, again, is tweeting out, like, I got something for y'all haters, and I know who's fake and who's real, and all these weird and odd tweets. Dwayne Haskins is just a guy that craves attention, where Kyler Murray is a guy that just wants to win games. Kyler Murray is a guy who doesn't crave attention. He's actually a quiet personality, and that's what I like in my quarterbacks. Kyler Murray is a guy that cried after he lost to Texas. This is a guy that hates to lose. He cries. Winning and losing is the only thing going on in his life. It's not the only thing, but winning is something that is extremely important to him. And the intangibles of Kyler Murray are just so much better than Dwayne Haskins in my eyes that Kyler Murray, I would not even think about drafting Dwayne Haskins, and I would think about drafting Kyler Murray. I would be excited if the Giants picked him, because Kyler Murray is going to be a guy that I think could potentially be very successful. I am worried about his height. He'd be the smallest quarterback of all time to play in the NFL. He could get injured because he's smaller, but same with every other quarterback. A lot of people are saying you're going to need to tailor his offense. I don't want him as a running back. I don't even want Kyler Murray running a lot. I don't even want him doing the option, because if he does the option, he's going to get hurt. I want him as a pocket passer in the NFL, sitting behind Eli Manning and being a good teammate. But now Devin White's not going to be for the Giants. Josh Allen, the Jets are in a 3-4 defense. The Jets are going to stay in a 3-4. That means that Josh Allen's probably going to be a Jet. That means Quinton Williams is going to be taken before the Giants pick, and that also means that Nick Bosa is probably going to be taken before the Giants pick. So, who then are the Giants going to select if they don't select a quarterback, whether it's Haskins or Murray? And I don't want Haskins, but they could select Haskins. They could select Kyler Murray, which I would welcome more. Dave Gettleman said today that he has no problem drafting at positions where the Giants are already successful. So you look then at the positions that the Giants could address. Running back with Josh Jacobs is probably not going to happen, because Saquon's probably too good to warrant a running back selection. But you could see a Deontay Thompson sneak into the top 6. I think Thompson's a possibility. I think he plays with very good instincts, and his competition and competitive edge is certainly very, very, very noticeable. DeAndre Baker is an exceptional competitor. I like Baker ahead of Greedy Williams. Baker's a very physical corner, and Baker can play the ball. Baker, to me, is a fantastic, fantastic player. He's been great for about 2 years. Every time I turn on Georgia tape, I watch DeAndre Baker, and DeAndre Baker is a stud. So if the Giants get him at number 6, I think that would be a very good pick. I think that it's very possible that Baker is there. Jonah Williams, if the Bucs don't take Jonah Williams, the Giants will look at Jonah Williams, and Jonah Williams is a possibility. So I think Baker, Jonah Williams, Greedy Williams is a possibility, but I'd put him behind Baker. And I think that Kyler Murray is coming right into the fold right now. Dave Gettleman also said something very interesting. He said that Eli Manning a lot of people have been way too negative on Eli Manning. And that once you're negative on Eli Manning, you won't come back and you won't see a reasonable point of view. And I couldn't agree more with that statement. You know, Dave Gettleman says that we live in a culture where everybody wants to put blame and nobody wants to take self-responsibility. Again, I thought that was a brilliant sentiment that Dave Gettleman said. Because the fact is, when people are on board with getting rid of Eli Manning, or when people are on board with possibly seeing other options, when Eli Manning does good things on a field, like when he played very well versus Tampa Bay, when he played great versus the San Francisco 49ers, when Eli Manning played pretty good in that Dallas Cowboys game, when he played good against the Colts, a lot of people that don't like Eli Manning, they will never give Eli Manning that fair shake. They won't come back and say, yeah, Eli Manning's actually playing pretty well right now. A lot of people, once they start hating on Eli Manning and once they want a replacement, no matter what Eli does, they're so entrenched in their thought that they won't have an open mind and change their decision. That's why a lot of people get on me. Because I rated, first I rated Haskins above Drew Lock, but then I considered everything from social media to then I considered the highlights and the tape, and I changed my mind. I like being a guy that's able to be adaptable and thought and change their mind. And Dave Gettleman says from one year to the next, you have to reevaluate your decisions based on each current year. And just because a player has been very successful in the past or has been very poor in the past doesn't mean that they can't make strides or regress within that certain year. And he criticized fans, the Giants fans, for being too negative on Eli Manning and that he won't get out of that stigma. And I completely agree with Dave Gettleman. He's sticking up for a legend in our organization. The fans outside of the New York Giants, the mainstream media fans, want the Giants to move on from Eli Manning. Eli Manning isn't the only problem with this football team. And Eli Manning is a guy that's capable of winning, and he's capable of winning at a high, high level. If the Giants want to get a quarterback for the future, they want to churn out another quarterback in the first round, it doesn't mean that Eli Manning won't have a successful 2019 campaign either. So I love that Dave Gettleman said that. I think Giants fans don't respect Eli Manning. They don't respect the Super Bowls. I'm not saying all of them, but especially the younger Giants fans that haven't seen Eli Manning win Super Bowls. When you win Super Bowls as a quarterback, that means that you should respect Eli Manning. And if you want him to leave, if you didn't think he was very good last year, that's a fair point. But to say that this guy is trash and that you would just throw him away, Eli Manning's a quarterback that knows how to play in this league. He's done it a long time. And last year, he wasn't atrocious. And he gets a bad rep by everybody that is just envious of Eli Manning and Eli Manning's accomplishments. And a lot of people will say I'm biased towards Eli Manning. Eli Manning is an average quarterback in the NFL right now. He's not a terrible quarterback. Sure, he played poorly in a lot of games, like versus the Eagles he played poorly, versus the Saints he played poorly, but maybe that was more of a reflection on the offensive line. It's an 11-person game, and all the blame shouldn't just go to a quarterback. Alrighty, guys, so I appreciated that insight from Dave. I thought Gettleman was very, very good in this press conference today. And I'm going to make another video about a rumor that's going on, and I think you guys might be interested in that as well. But Dave Gettleman, think about who the Giants are taking, and when you watch the player on tape, the player has to show great instincts. He's not going to take an athlete that has the potential. Devin White has potential. Rashawn Gary has potential. Dave Gettleman doesn't like that. He likes a player that is 2 steps ahead. He likes a very cerebral player that is a player that knows where the ball is coming and that is incredible at carving out spaces and finding his way around the football field. That's who Dave Gettleman is going to select. Dave Gettleman is going to select guys that have great technique, and he's going to select guys that have very good football fundamentals. He's not going to take a guy that didn't play well in a current system, and he's not going to try to remake or project onto a player that with the Giants coaching they're going to be successful. He's going to take a guy who plays very quickly and who plays very decisively, and that's what you have to look at on tape. Drew Lock is a very good quarterback with a very strong arm, but he did not play the game decisively, and he did not throw with anticipation. That's why Drew Lock is gone. That's why Devin White's gone. That's why Rashawn Gary is gone. So, big news, Devin White is gone pretty much. I needed to hear the press conference to hear it. You guys need to go watch Brett Coleman's reaction to Devin White, and you will know that Devin White is a running back that is still learning how to play the linebacker position, and that his instincts are very much a risk, and the Giants will likely pass on him. They will also likely pass on Rashawn Gary, and Combine Warriors are not going to be in the Giants' best interests. Alrighty, guys, thanks for watching the vid.